Yo, welcome back to the channel, season ticket holders. If you're not a season ticket holder, stop what you're doing right now, pause the video, hit subscribe, check out the channel. You'll like this video, you will like other videos, there will be more videos coming that you like. If you like football boots, if you like football, you're in the right place. But today's video is about what's in this box. Something I've not featured on the channel before, something I've never really had in my collection before, something I'm going to play in, and I'm going to get into a little bit about this type of boot, this certain specific range, why I don't collect them, why I don't particularly like them. Everyone else seems to love them. I am the odd one out when it comes to these. So here goes. Today we are reviewing an Adidas Predator remake. That's right, the Adidas Predator LZ remake specifically. Many people would say the worst Predator remake, but I'm going to talk today about why I think they're actually the best for a bunch of reasons. I'm going to wear these, I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you what I think of them. Without further ado, let's get into it. Adidas Predator LZ remake review with me, Mr. Proper Retro, aka Mr. Steal Your Boots. See you in a sec. Firstly, I'd like to give a shout out to my boy JB Boots on Instagram. Did me an amazing deal on these. Check him out. Obviously been used once or twice, but let's see. First of all, the colourway, it's obviously the mirror image of the Beckham colourway, one of the last Predators he wore in his playing career. As you can see, they've really stuck to the LZ, the original style, got the same grip paneling, strike zones, all these things. The original Lethal Zones idea was to highlight the zones for striking, control, all those kind of things. Obviously they have the new Predator Edge sole plate on them, which looks fine, you know, it's okay. First glance, they look exactly like these original LZs. You wouldn't really notice a difference, which I think is one of the main points Adidas remakes have nailed. As you can see side by side, slightly different sizes here, but they look pretty much exactly the same. So I took these for a run to channel my inner David Beckham to see if I could come up with some magic. Obviously, like I said before, they've really stuck to the original kind of layout, and I think the LZ in general was a really underrated Predator to play in. A lot of people kind of went off them as they'd gone away from the classic models with the fold-down tongues, but the LZ, the ad power, etc. were all amazing. They were really lightweight. The tech on them was great, and if we take a look at them here, I think these look really nice now. The colourway's cool. I'm a big fan of a white boot in general. It's got that pop of colour, and what they've done in terms of making them look good, they've not taken away technically from the actual performance of the boot. In general, I would say these are very, very similar to the originals in terms of the foot feel and the fit, which is nice. And out of the Predator remakes, I'd say these are one of the wider fitting ones. So if, like me, you've got big, wide feet, these are definitely a good go-to pair if you want some nostalgia. In classic Beckham style, we had to start off with a few free kicks to talk about the striking on these, as I think it's probably the strongest point of the boots. The grip panels on them, I think, definitely really are helpful. Definitely give you a bit of extra cushion on your touch and maybe a bit of swerve on the ball, etc., depending on your technique. As you can see here, pinged a few, took a few shots in them. They're super comfortable. You get a nice clean strike on the ball. One of the only issues I have with these boots is that the tongue kind of moves around, but it doesn't really affect the striking, as the strike zones on them really encourage you to use the parts of your foot when you can that you really want to get on the ball. When these were first released, some people were kicking off. They were a bit confused. They said, why are you doing a remake of these when there's so many other kind of classic Predators? But in terms of performance, I actually think these are one of the models that hold up the best now if you look at the original pair. And it's clear to see in the remake they've really thought about how people are going to use these to play in. Now, the only kind of downsides I have is I'm not a huge fan of the Predator Edge sole plate. I'm not a fan of that boot in general, but the upper kind of makes up for it. I've worn these in a few games. The lateral movement, I would say, compared to the Nike boots that I usually wear, is not great. And like I said, the tongue tends to migrate a lot, but that could be just the shape of my foot, so can't really complain too much. When compared to other Predator remake models, these are going insanely cheap. You can get these well below retail from lots of resellers, or you can find pairs online. And I think for the amount of money you're putting into them, they're an amazing boot to play in. A great investment in terms of fun and nostalgia, and you should definitely get a pair if you can. Yep. One of the reasons that you've never seen me buy or sell or have Predator remakes on the page or on the channel is I'm a big fan of wearing my boots, and I think a lot of the Predator remakes are just there to kind of gouge money out of people. They're cool for collectors as a way to bring back some nostalgia, but I think for the price point they're just not worth it for someone like me. But these LZ remakes, a lot of people would have said they were probably the worst of the Pred remakes, but for me, in my opinion, they're actually one of the best. They're one of the cheapest, they're one of the best performing, you're not too worried about ruining them like you would be with, say, the Manias or something, and they're really, really fun. Plus, I think they look cool. Yeah, definitely worth it. So, in summation, the Adidas Predator LZ1 remakes, nice. Definitely not the worst Predator remake in my opinion. Definitely worth picking up. Like I mentioned in the video, lots of top resellers or just people selling them on eBay, stuff like that, are selling them for below retail price. They did retail lower than the other Predator remakes in general to kind of reflect, obviously they knew they wouldn't be as popular as the Manias, Accelerator, stuff like that. You could probably pick these up for maybe like 150 quid to 180 quid, which is, you know, the same as kind of any top tier boot will be kicking around a few months after it's been out. So they definitely weren't a great like investment piece for anyone out there who's trying to do that kind of stuff. But overall, I would say if we talk about the kind of nostalgia factor, comfort, performance on the ball, looks, all these kind of things, I would rate these around an 8.75 out of 10. I think the only things I could really do to improve on, and this is just my opinion, as you've seen, bang average footballer, big hefty lump of a guy. I'm not a huge fan of the edge sole plate. Maybe it's better on grass than it is on Astro, but in general I think Adidas's sole plates aren't as good as Nike's right now across the board. I just feel like when I've played in them, I've played 4 or 5 games in these now, the kind of lateral movement, acceleration, stuff like that, you don't get the same push off that you do with a Nike AG or FG boot. And then the tongue kind of migrating around a lot. I'd like to see them implement something like Nike have on the Tiempo 9s, where it's kind of a material sole down the middle but it has some kind of elastic either side to keep it in place, stop it shifting around as much. They're not uncomfortable to wear anyway, it's just annoying kind of 10-20 minutes into a game if you have to stop, adjust the tongue, retie the laces, stuff like that. But again, could just be the shape of my foot. Someone with narrower feet and a lower arch might not be an issue. But I was really pleasantly surprised actually with these. Again, shout out to my boy JB Boots, he's a great guy. We played together at the Boots vs Shirts game. Ever since then it's been true love. We're the same size in boots, so we've done a few back and forth to each other. But yeah, he sold me these really, really cheap, way too cheap. So thank you mate, definitely worth it. These are going to be staying in my rotation. I think they're comfortable, they're fun, they're great for a kickabout. Yeah, highly recommend getting these. If you want to see more reviews, please subscribe to the channel. There's a few on there, there's loads more coming. I'm trying to ramp them up, trying to do some vlogs and stuff like that. If you guys want to see those, let me know. They don't get the same amount of views and stuff that the reviews do, so it's kind of whatever you guys want to see, just let me know. I'll try and get the videos out for you. It's all about the season ticket holders. It's like any football club. Right, that's me, Marcus, over and out on the LZ review. Hope you've enjoyed this. Please go check out the channel, check us out on Instagram, check out our website if you want to buy any classic boots, properretroboots.com. You know you want it.
They're all very different people. They come from very different backgrounds. About the only thing they have in common is dedication to what they're doing. If they didn't have that,